Does this oversized sweater make me look fat? Hi, I'm the Headless Historian, and why can't you see my face? It's probably because you wouldn't want to anyway. Gosh, I'm being really down on myself today. I'm so sorry. It's just one of those days. You ever had one of those days? My pants won't go on. No, not today. Oh, no, that did something bad. Oh, what am I gonna wear? Okay. Oh God, no. No. Oh, that looks. Oh, it doesn't fit. What? Oh my God, what are you doing today? Oh God, these don't match. This perfume, or this perfume, or this perfume. Oh, deodorant. That smells awful. Now fix it. Yes. Stay there. I guess my attitude today kind of fits because we're talking about body image today. It seems like today we have to be skinny, or we have to have nice hair, we have to smell nice, we have to have a tan, and there's a lot of other cultures that struggle with different things that my culture doesn't. The African American culture, they deal a lot with, I guess, the issue of their hair. Should they straighten it or should they keep it just natural? I watched a documentary on it. It was really good. It's called Bad Hair. The Asian cultures, they have a lot of negative issues with the way that their eyes are set, with their hair, how it's black. I mean, most of their hair is dark. So they dye it a lot. I mean, if you look at Japanese anime, they're constantly drawing themselves with outlandish hair colors like blue and blonde, and something you would never see in actual Japan. Actually, no, you see it there a lot. But it's hair colors they're not born with, is what I'm saying. So they're always trying to portray themselves as something else. We're all of us are trying to portray ourselves as something else. And the fascinating thing is that it hasn't always been the same aesthetic that we've been chasing after. Of course, human beings have always been obsessed with looks, but during the Renaissance, it was a whole different look than what we have now. There's portraits of Renaissance women who are pictured as voluptuous, and they have really high hairlines, and their skin is like porcelain, like they've never been outside, and they have like no eyebrows. That was the look. That was top of the line. If you have a lot of money, you're gonna look this way. And you compare that to the aesthetic of the 50s. You have tall, skinny, elegant, and sharp features. Nothing like that of the Renaissance. So why does it change? I have no idea. I mean, it's so complex, you could never understand it truly. But how does it change? That's a different story. It has to do with cultural, what is the word? It has to do with cultural influences. I'm going to show you one of my all-time favorite pieces of art, and you'll probably see why when you look at it. It's the Venus of Willendorf. It's been dated back to 24,000 to 22,000 years ago. That's BCE, before the Common Era. So that's when people are nomads, hunters, and gatherers. They're living in the woods, basically. There's no cities. As you can see, the piece is quite different than the women pictured today. She has just humongous features. It's quite laughable today, but back then, this is it. That's what was honored. That was what was liked. Historians believe that this piece was a fertility piece dedicated to some sort of god of fertility. On a side note, men usually create art. For thousands of years, it's been men who've created art. So that's the ideals that aesthetics are playing to, that of men's wants and wishes. During the century, we have a different look, vastly different than the look of the Venus of Willendorf. Women are tall and slender, and yet they have a voluptuous rack, I guess. Is that what I'm going to say? Sure. And a nice bottom. Bottom. What? Okay. So women out there who are on the skinnier side, of course I'm not, know that being slender, you don't necessarily get a nice rack. What? Okay. Or a J-Lo bottom. Bottom? What? God, I am ridiculous. But how did these women achieve it? The aesthetic brought on by this Gibson guy said it was important for women to be skinny and yet voluptuous at the same time. So they created what they call a swan bill corset, which created this dramatic S-curve. Here's an illustration of it. You can see that it almost just like contorts the body so that it looks like they have things that they don't necessarily have. And that's the aesthetic that people were going for. So why did they do this? All because this one guy said it was really important to have these things. Weird cultural... I don't know. Yeah. This is an uncomfortable subject. Both of these, the Venus and Willendorf and the Gibson girl look, are artificial. They're extremely unrealistic, you would say, right? Because going back to the Venus and Willendorf, women who are hunters and gatherers who are constantly walking are not going to be overweight. It's going to be hard to find food. So, I mean, even back then, maybe they had self-esteem issues. I don't know. Maybe they sat around the fire and they had their version of The View and cried a lot. What I always have trouble with is people who say, you're beautiful on the inside, or if you're comfortable enough with yourself, everything's going to be fine. Some days that doesn't work. Some days you just really crap about yourself because you don't measure up. My big question for the end of this rant about body image is, why don't men sit around crying about gaining weight? Wait, they don't do that, right? You have a body aesthetic for men as well. I mean, the Greeks gave us this ultimate physique that was something to be achieved. The Rococo era gave us high heels with men who had huge wigs to give them height and make them seem more important. The turn of the century, all men were well groomed with mustaches and goatees. Their hair was fantastic. They never went out looking less than their best. And today we have shirtless men in commercials selling us perfume. I'm really interested in why we're so focused on women being upset and not men being upset about the portrayal of their gender. We've come to the end of the video today, and I hope you enjoyed it or got something out of it at least. I had fun talking about it. It's an uncomfortable subject just because, you know, everyone has those days when they don't feel great about themselves. No. Gotta clean that. Oh. Who bought this? That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. No. Oh, look. Something too big. Finally. Okay. God. What do I live in? The 80s? Okay. No. Okay. I can work with this. Alright. I'm gonna go out. I have to say, the thing that makes me feel better about myself is feeling smarter than everybody else.